YouTube. How are you doing tonight? I just wanted to get online to bring another video to to your home and to your, YouTube space. Just wanted to talk about another video, which I am titling "Speaking My Truth Part 2," and this is definitely just a continuation of Part 1. But I'm creating this as a shorter video because it is something that I need to share with the rest of the world because um, a lot of people hear my story, and when they hear my story, they're thinking, oh, you need to write a book and things like that, which, eventually it's going to happen. But um, I feel this is one of the main platforms to get my story out. In the meantime, while I am working on that book, um, or working on other interviews and things like that. But I just wanted to get online and kind of share my epiphanies, share revelations, things that the divine has kind of spoken to me about. Because I know I have I am being strongly spiritually compelled to be able to share it because it is the truth. It is not just my truth; it is the truth, and there are many who are going to be speaking out about this, and those that want to try to claim to be victims when they're really the perpetrators. Well, that's going to be um, distinguished between the wheats and the tares eventually one day. But I wanted to get on to talk about how, with what's going on in the current environment and with a lot of things that's going on in the world, with school shootings and Jimmy Carter, rest in peace, sir, passed away at 100 today, or yesterday, rather. And, airplanes crashing out the sky, South Korea, things of that nature. We have a lot of deaths going on. And for those that are passed away, my condolences. I didn't really know them, but rest in peace. But for those others that live their life as terrorists, there really is no rest in peace for them. And this particular video will talk about what I have gone through to help other people, to help them heal, to help them to think about their lives and what kind of legacy they want to leave. And hopefully it is a good one where people will be at your funeral and cry and they want to show up for you. There are people that's not going to show up for certain people that's going to pass away because they lived a very hateful life towards people that they didn't want to know, they didn't get to know. And this video is piggybacking off of part 1 that I did, but it's a little bit short video. And I'm just going to dive into that video. I hope everyone is doing fine tonight because it's getting darker out here in Portland and all. So, but sharing some things that I have dreams about, and being given the gift of the prophetic dreams and things like this. I do. The divine kind of gives me these revelations about things, and I can't share them all here anyway, because I'm not letting the enemy have any. I'm not allowing the enemy to get a foothold of whatever is coming. I just won't do that. I know better. And what I wanted to say is when, with all of this fraud going on and the stolen inheritances and property that's being stolen from them and people living in other people's houses that they don't belong to. I was talking earlier about being the hidden child that my relatives want to hide while they were stealing this inheritance. And I am the hidden child. I am the second oldest of 5 children in the Clark Cole family. And my siblings are way younger than me, 3 of them. 1 is older, so there's 1 above me. And since all of those siblings kind of I should say, grew up together and things like this, because I separated from my relatives. I was living with my so-called mother, and then up until maybe about 14 or 15 years of age, I moved in with my father. And it was no picnic there either, because he was also narcissistic and abusive, extremely narcissistic and abusive, and an alcoholic and a womanizer. Louis Captain Cole Jr. And um, and I consider him my fake father because I was never told who my real father was. And my social mother swears that this man is my father. Well, that remains to be seen, because all of us, all of us, don't even look the same. We don't look. Several of us don't even look like him. But when I think back on how I grew up, I was always ostracized. I was always bullied. I was always picked on. I was always um, the one that was blamed for things that had nothing to do with me. And my own mother wanted to hide me to when everybody who didn't know the family, they assumed that there were only four children. There's supposed to be five. And the reason why I always I know that the divine had to keep me away from this family because they were abusive, they were criminal, they were corrupt, they were manipulative, they were extortionists, and I was not supposed to engage in any of that behavior. And I was raised around relatives who did that, and so um, I know that I have been separated and sanctified and pretty much like meant to be a part, separate from this family because I had a divine calling in my life. I have a divine calling, and I was supposed to be separated from them because I was blessed to be um, given special set of gifts, natural and spiritual, and I was supposed to be set apart from these people. And I understand now why. I understand why I was separated from them. It has become so abundantly clear at this age why. So much more clarity, so much more makes more sense now. And because I was the the devil, not in a bad way, but the one who called out sinfulness, the one that called out immorality, the one that called out something, the one that called out lies, the one that was the BS detector, the one that was always asking, well, why? Well, why this? Well, why this? Well, why did they do this? Well, why are they going to do this? And I was the one that was speaking out against things that just didn't sound right. It just didn't fit. And so, yeah, I was shut up. My voice was stifled. My voice was suppressed, um, and I was beaten for it, beaten for speaking out, beaten for speaking out. I was punished for speaking out. And in any relationship that I got myself into, whether it be my exes, whether it be my children's fathers, anytime I spoke out, I got punished. And I kind of internalized it as if I speak out, then I shouldn't speak out because I'm going to get punished for it. And I usually did for speaking out and speaking the truth. Whereas the lies that were told by my children's fathers or baby daddies were admitted. It was enabled. It was accommodated. It was believed without any imperial evidence to the contrary. But I can have evidence all day long and tell the truth. But yet I was ostracized. I was put falsely in prison. I was the one that was had my children taken from me. I was the one that wasn't believed. I was the one that had the injustice done to them. And harshly and brutally attacked and um, persecuted. So it makes one wonder when one tells the truth, should they tell the truth? Should they continue to tell the truth? And I continued even when I was falsely imprisoned by my daughter's father, by Roy L. Johnson. And he could lie, and it's a blatant lie. And yet, I was the one persecuted for it. I was the one that was, um, whoever the judge was, whoever the attorney was, put in my place. And you can't put an empress in her place. And so I still stand on my ground. And I still stand my ground. And anyone, I'll tell you, stand your ground still when you tell the truth, regardless. Tell the truth, speak the truth, because if you have this particular evidence, then yes, it's still going to be that evidence. It's not going to change. But those that want to conceal their sins, their lies, their manipulation, their deceit, they're going to finagle documents. They're going to commit fraud. They're going to extort things. They're going to um, uh, defraud. They're going to mislead people. And I know whoever's been working on cases over the years, or whether it be criminal investigation or investigations or anything, any investigators, they're going to always look for evidence. And if it misleads them, then they have to go back to the drawing board and find out where that information came from, the original information, to try to piece together with their reports. And so I'm just making notations here or helping someone make make it easier for someone who's investigating my case or any other cases that you. I know for people in my own not circle, but family members or family community or whatever that I'm not a part of or anything, um, they'll mislead you. They will deflect the information, so it'll throw you off the trail. You must stay on path of trying to find the original thought or the original evidence and find the original information, the original documents, the original, whatever it is you're trying to see, the original, because it's going to mislead you into somewhere else to path that you should be. It's going to distract you. They're going to distract you. And I'm just letting you know up front that they will lie to you and manipulate. They're very good at manipulation. Very, very good at it. And I know you have to listen to your intuition. You have to, if it doesn't sound right, if it sounds fishy, you know that it's going to throw you off. They're trying to throw you off. And I'm just telling you for one of this, if you haven't already done that. But I know my relatives now, and I know that they are good at manipulating, especially the women. They're going to try to bat the eyes. They're going to try to um, do butter you up and sweet talk and things like that, and try to act like they have the health problems and all kinds of things, and try to throw you off and try to manipulate you, especially by the eyes and saying, could you please help me? Yeah, you got to be careful of that, especially the men. But also too is that they didn't want me to be seen. They didn't want me to be seen because they know that I'm meant to uh, be in the spotlight. They know I am meant to shine the truth, shine the light. I am the light, and I'm meant to shine. I'm meant to shine. The others aren't. I've just been given that gift to be just and shine that light, and they hate that. They hate it. They hate it, and so they want to try to destroy that light. They don't want me to live. They don't want me to shine. And I've lost 32 some years. I lost a childhood. I lost a childhood. 32 years of not knowing that I was meant to live a regal life. I was meant to live a life of traveling the world and helping people with my lessons, with the abundance that was given to me, passed down by my grandparents, my great grandparents, my grandparents, and to have been denied this access to be this hidden, concealed, hidden, hiding, literally being withheld from me because they want it. That's an insult to me and my ancestors. It's an insult. And when I hear the cries of all the others out there who are going through the exact same thing, and I'm hearing people who are being homeless, people who are, they're meant to be like, they're meant to be helping society, and they're on the street or sitting in the cars with their children, or they are, you know, being accused of losing their minds when they are fully capable and functional in their mental capacity for cognitive thought, for intellectual reason, rationality, and they can function and be able to handle their affairs, their daily affairs, and budget financially. They can handle the household, they can handle bills. And who are the ones that claim that they're not? Because the ones that withholding their benefits or withholding abundance or withholding things from them that would help them live a little bit easier life, they're not even handling their own affairs financially. But yet they are accusing someone else of not being uh, uh, mentally functioning. They're not handling their affairs with mental fortitude. I'm very strong mentally. Always have been, always will be. I have in the past I have lost custody of two children for many, many years. And that's because my own fake mother had interfered in my relationships with my children's fathers when she should not have. Even probably have bribed them or given them money to help keep the children away from me when I was the one who was spending all of my time I was pouring love into my children. And make no mistake, I also too had to discipline my children at different points, but I did not use discipline as an abuse tactic because that's what my parents did growing up. I had a different style of parenting, and that was to not be like my parents and be the opposite. And that's how I was the curse breaker. I pretty much poured love into my children, and the fathers that they had or have were into control, uh, power, and control, and they didn't appreciate rejection. So when they were rejected, when I left because of the abuse, then they retaliated against me and got others being grouped and grouped others against me. So I was one against 10 or against a whole community of people opposite in my character against me. And no one was there for me when I went to court. I had to be my own attorney to defend myself. I had to be my own plaintiff, or I had to be my own, what they call it, my own litigant. I had to be my own attorney, my own, to be the defendant, and the one who was the litigant. Trying to uh, be an advocate for my daughter as well. When I had 10 different people, including a judge, guardian ad litem, and my ex's attorney, and all his family members against just one person, that's me. And so even it was that way with my son's father. My son was the firstborn. His father, John Joseph, wanted to come up against me with 10 different church members with one against one parent, which was me. And anyone who would have been there and been there throughout the last 26 years, or I'd say the last 18 years within the time span of having raised my children and deal with being a custodial parent, then being a custodial parent. It was very tough for me because I was struggling financially. Even though I had a job, it was barely keeping the lights on and being on assistance and housing and things. We had a roof over our head. We had food in the refrigerator every day. But the money that I was making as a substitute teacher at the time, and I was in the education field, it was barely able to pay the bills and struggling to still be a single mom while my children's fathers had a car and an apartment or a home or whatever and a wife or whatever. And they married um, to attack and abuse me and the children. knowing that I was sick, while they raising them. They figured that I was in a vulnerable spot that they could control, and they could terrorize, and they could abuse me because I was by myself. And I've always been by myself, not by choice, because I really like to be in a place where I can be around a group of people to talk and be able to go out to eat. But my life has never been like that, and I never was able to go out with a group of people. Not being able to go. Nobody asked me and my daughter out for the holidays or Christmas or nothing. My so-called mother knew where we lived. She knew where we lived, and she never came by to give presents or anything. We didn't get anything by Vashti or Natasha Latoya Sheba for Christmas or holidays or nothing. We weren't invited. We were never invited. Not even by the summer family. We were never really invited anywhere. We weren't invited to the parties. We were stuck at home just watching TV all the time. All the time. No one invited us. It's like I had to always call and ask if we could come by. But no one really invited us. We were ignored. We were ignored. We were um, we weren't invited to anybody's home. Everybody else had groups of people coming over their houses, relatives. But me and my daughter were never invited. Me and my son were never invited anywhere. And so me and my daughter, we felt really rejected. We felt alone. And this is pretty much how our life has been. Um, and I'm just giving you a glimpse of this, of what it's been like to be alone and being rejected by your own family because you're different. You're different because you are special. And they don't like that. They're the ones who felt entitled. They still feel entitled today to things that they don't deserve. They don't deserve anything from me. They don't deserve anything from me, and they won't because they stole something. They stole. They're thieves. They'll continue to be thieves. Vashti, or this so-called my so-called mother, gave uh, 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 would give money to them and wouldn't give anything to me and my children. She's been manipulating and using my children, and she did not help them for Christmas. She didn't help my daughter. She didn't give anything to my daughter for Christmases. She didn't. She didn't. She was going to come over there. She's been over there at least twice to where we were back in Mississippi. Twice in 12 years. Um, Anything that comes out her mouth has pretty much been non-truths, and they will be non-truths. So believe what I say whenever you, whenever anyone speaks to her. It's going to be a non-truth. It's going to be a lie. If you want to know the truth, you hear it from the horse's mouth. And no one came to me to validate anything that was said. No one wanted to know. They wanted to roll with the lies. They wanted to roll with the smear campaign. They wanted to roll. No one defended me. No one stuck up. No one came and told me that these things were being said. No one told me that so and so was saying this about me. They always would enable Vashti, enable Sheba, enable Ron, or Natasha Latoya about lies. And they weren't never there. They haven't been around me in decades. They haven't been around me. So they cannot lie about something that they don't know about and that they haven't been around me. They haven't been around me in years, in years, in years. So everything they're going off is old stuff, or from what others have told them, or what others, like my exes or my children's fathers, have said to them. And it's unfair because there are people's families that talk about things that happened 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But have you seen that person currently? Have you spent time with the person currently? Have you invited them to your home for Christmas or whatever currently? If not, then you have no basis of truth to stand on because you haven't been around them. You haven't even offered them any help. You have not invited them for Christmas. You have not given them their children anything because you're going to create a lie that, oh, she has an attitude. We're not going to go over there. She has an attitude. We can't deal with her. You haven't been around her, so how would you know? You haven't been around her. You're not living with her day in, day out with her child, so how would you know? Because I know you look at her videos, but yet, why would you not go over there? If it's not about you, why would you not go over there to offer your presence there? Well, that just shows me that I was never loved by this family, and they get no love from me. They didn't show love growing up. I opened up my home to my siblings when they were being abused, and they repaid me with abandoning me in my time of need, and didn't look back and did not say thank you, nothing. And because of that, the divine has spoken to me that I shall not share any of that again, because they weren't appreciative. My parents weren't appreciative of my presence. They weren't appreciative of my blessings, my love, my time, whatever resources I gave to them, whatever I did for them. They never appreciated it. And they never told me they appreciated it. They never told me they appreciated it. They were ungrateful. My siblings were ungrateful. My aunts and uncles were ungrateful and lazy. And to the point where my children were abused by their fathers and stepmother and family members. Even when they knew there were even times when the grandparents knew that they were doing wrong, the fathers were doing wrong, and yet the fathers still abused the children, and they didn't do anything because they were children. They didn't understand. They hurt my children. They brutalized my children tremendously and horribly, as worse as they did me. People just sat by and watched my children get abused and watched me being mentally and psychologically and emotionally abused and financially abused or legally being abused. I was illegally abused for 18 years, 20 years, dealing with these custody battles. Because I had to fight them all by myself. I fought them all by myself. A gang of relatives, a gang of my ex's, my children's fathers, and family members, and church members. I fought against them by myself. No one in this family came to help me. Nobody. Save one person, and it was Harvey Brooks. And he was only there one time out of the 18 years or whatever. But I had no moral support, no emotional support, no financial support, no spiritual support, no mental support, none of it. None of it. Even when I was foster in prison by Willis Ellie Johnson and Regina Johnson, none of it. I was falsely in prison off lies. And that can be verified. That can be verified. So I'm speaking my truth and releasing all of this because it needs to be said. For those out there, single moms, who've gone through the legal hell that I had to go through because family was not there for me. They pretended to love. They pretended to act like they cared. This is all about pretending. This is all being fake. This was all about being pretending. They pretended to love me, and he didn't. I had to stand alone, and I know I am strong as hell. But being strong doesn't mean that you that I didn't need help. They turned their back on me when I needed them. They turned their back. And when I left for the abuse, because of the abuse, because of the brutality of it, because of the inhumane treatment, the mistreatment, them laughing behind my back. When all this pain and grief, this PTSD was going on, they laughed behind my back and put me down so badly. Now they're suffering under judgment because God is called, because the divine is called down on them